first ever Moroccan debate tournament. Today we have debate on following topic. This house believes that the ice patch challenge and other such activities do more harm than good. On the government side we have Front French, and the opposition side we have Croatia. The judges are Jonathan and Moroccan. To debater, please remember that I will not 2 times. At 60 seconds, I mean 30 minutes, on 7 minutes of each speech to open floor of 2 points of information, like this way. At 8 exact, I will knock 3 times. To the audience, please remember to put your phone on silent, and if you wish to leave this room, please do in between the speeches and not video of one. I will now call on the first speaker of the debate. Please welcome Mr. Usman.
Ladies and gentlemen, first things first, let's define this challenge for those who haven't gone on the internet since the past decade. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is an activity involving dumping a bucket of ice water on someone's head to promote awareness for motor neuron disease. We're convinced that such activities are doing much more harm than good because it causes more than one injury, it's funding cannibalism between charities, and it's encouraging animal testing, and it's definitely wasting water. Ice Bucket Challenge participants keep getting hurt. We can probably all agree that people hurting themselves while taking part in the stupid viral stunt is a troubling trend. A quick search of Ice Bucket Challenge fail, videos turned up as America's funniest home videos, people getting smacked in the head with buckets, people getting knocked over, people falling into bodies of water. The slapstick antics are funny if you're into that sort of should I off or call 911 thing. But an Ice Bucket Challenge fail can also be dangerous, and I can give 1,000 examples. Several Kentucky firefighters were injured in an Ice Bucket Challenge that went awry. The ladder bucket they'd been using to dump water on college students taking part in the challenge got too close to a power line, and 2 firefighters were seriously injured by an electrical shock. 2 others were hurt when they tried to climb the ladder to aid the injured firefighters. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a dreadful tragedy. 18-year-old Cameron Lancaster died after drowning in a flooded Scottish quarry. While teens have long jumped into the water at that particular quarry, Cameron jumped and didn't come up, because he took part in the Ice Bucket Challenge before entering the water, according to the Independent. A Belgian man landed in a Spanish hospital after a firefighting plane dropped about 400 gallons of water on him as part of an Ice Bucket Challenge, according to the Barcelona-based newspaper La Vanguardia. And an Irish teacher's Ice Bucket Challenge reportedly ended with her running into a pool and knocking herself unconscious, according to Irish Times. The woman appeared to be in good spirits later and posted the video online. In Asia, while the challenge is gaining more and more momentum, the Hong Kong Medical Association issued a warning to expectant mothers, the elderly, and people with heart conditions, saying that there are increased injuries if they take part in the challenge. The vast majority of people who participate in the challenge appear to do so without sustaining life-threatening injuries. But the fails could end up throwing cold water on the entire trend. The Ice Bucket Challenge is for a good cause, but it has been marked by too many tragedies. What I am saying is that millions of dollars raised without causing human damage, human harm, in any way, form, or manner, is an alternative that should be considered to replace this ridiculous trend. The key problem is funding cannibalism, that $100 million in donations does not appear out of a vacuum, because people on average are limited in how they are willing to donate to good causes. If someone donates $100 to the ALS Association, he or she will likely donate less to other charities, and this isn't just speculation. Research has found that for every $1 a charity raises, at least 50 cents would have been donated anyway. So, because of the $100 million that the ALS Association has received, I bet that much more than $50 million has been lost by other charities, other cancer charities. A similar phenomenon has been studied in the lab by psychologists. It's called moral licensing. The idea that doing one good action leads one to compensate by doing fewer good actions in the future. Amazingly, even just saying that you do something good can cause the moral self-licensing effect. The explanation behind moral licensing is that people are often more concerned about looking good or feeling good rather than doing good. In terms of the conditions of the moral licensing effect to occur, the Ice Bucket Challenge is perfect. The challenge gives you a way to very publicly demonstrate your altruism via a painful task, despite actually accomplishing very little. On average, not including the 92% who don't donate at all. A $20 gift or 0.03% of the average American household's income. And seriously, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the Ice Bucket Challenge, people's concerns are misplaced. Celebrities are criticized for getting wet to grab attention. Politicians are not for using it to get support. And individuals are told off for doing it without knowing why. So sure, pour a bucket of ice water over yourself, or go bungee jumping, or lie in a bathtub of beans, whatever. But only do these things if you connect these fundraisers with meaningful behavior change. Otherwise, your campaign, even if seemingly fantastically successful, could be doing more harm than good.
Yes.
The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge encourages animal testing. In recent experiments funded by the ALS Association, mice had holes drilled into their skulls, were inflicted with crippling illnesses, and were forced to run on an inclined treadmill until they collapsed from exhaustion. Monkeys had chemicals injected into their brains and backs and were later killed and dissected. A great deal of ALS research funding is being spent on attempts to create animals with genetic mutations that produce symptoms that mimic ALS. Trying to cure human diseases by relying on outdated and ineffective animal experiment isn't only cruel, it is immoral. You can't ask animals how they feel about being tested on. The hate of this is that FDA statistics states that 92% out of 100 drugs that succeed in animal trials fail once in human trials. Animal tests are mainly undocumented and federally unregulated, and there are 36,000 more efficient substitutes to animal testing. It is a great disservice to people who desperately need cures. Finally, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is wasting water. Clean water is a privilege. Only around 20% of the world's population has running water. More than 1 billion people have no access to any source of clean drinking water. And people are filling buckets of water and the only purpose to dump it the next second. And this challenge claims to be doing more good than harm. It is the example we want to give to our peers by doing it, sharing it in the social medias and nominating people to do so as well. Thank you.
Okay. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today there is a disease called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, better known as ALS. About 2 years ago, it was pretty unknown, and then came along a viral trend called the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which helped raise money for the research of this disease, which was pretty unresearched because of the lack of money needed. Today we are debating on the motion, this House believes that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge and other such activities do more harm than good. In my speech, I would like to rebuttal the arguments that the proposition side brought, and I will present my first argument called raising money, and my second argument will be presented by my second speaker. So, in their first argument, they talk about how people hurt themselves and that people with heart conditions get hurt. It's their choice that they do the Ice Bucket Challenge, and if they have a heart condition, they should think about it before they do the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and that is not really the fault of someone who brought up the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. It's the fault of people who do it because they don't think about their condition before they do it. They must be more careful because they don't think about their condition, and we don't think that this is the fault of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. We believe that this is the fault of the people who do it. They talk about the cannibalism between the foundations for charity. So it's a person's choice to donate to whichever association they want to donate their money to, and if someone donates their money to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, it's their fault because they can donate to whichever association they want to donate to, and we believe that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is good because the association needs more money, and because this is a viral trend spread through social networks, we believe it is a good way to bring up more money for the research of this rare and hard disease. And they say that celebrities and other people do this to get attention. So what? It's good to get attention to this disease, which was pretty unknown. If you asked someone about 2 years ago what this disease was, they wouldn't know. So it's good to bring attention to this unknown disease. They talk about animal testing and that this brings testing drugs on animals. The truth is, all drugs are pretty much tested on animals. So if this drug is tested on animals, it really doesn't bring much difference because the sad truth is all drugs are tested on animals. So it's not the fault of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge that this drug in specific is tested on animals. And in their third argument, they talk about how this ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is wasting water. There are much more things that water is wasted on, and we believe that if some water is wasted on a worthy cause, it's not that big of a deal because the water is wasted on so many other things. For example, when you brush your teeth, you don't really turn the tap off. So this is this is a thing that water is wasted on, and we believe that if some water is put into doing this challenge, we believe that this isn't such a big deal because water is wasted on so many other unnecessary things. Our first argument is called raising money. So this is a difficult and an unknown disease, and this kind of action brings money to the foundation researching this disease because it's spread through social media, which is a really big media in society today. So we believe that it's a good way to spread the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which really helps people bring money to the research of this disease. And the ALS Association has raised $15.6 million, and that is 9 times more than the association would make without the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Because it is a rare and unknown disease, it's good that it was spread through social media because it's really a big part of our culture and society today, and we believe that it is a good way to spread awareness about this disease.
And for information. I think that we never said that raising money for an organization wasn't good. We just said that the Ice Bucket Challenge wasn't the good way to do it because they were dead people, and that's not normal. When you want to raise money for an organization, they shouldn't have been dead people. So the Ice Bucket Challenge is basically not good for raising money. Thank you.
Yes, but it is good for raising money because this was an unknown disease, and the association raising money for it didn't have much money to research and didn't have many results concerning this disease. And we believe that this is a good way to spread awareness about this disease and a good way to raise money for the disease because really a lot of people did it and a lot of money was raised. As I said, 9 times more than it would have been raised without the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Also, it encourages people to give money to charity in general because people social media is a very important part of our culture, and we believe that if somebody sees something on social media, they will probably do it, and it encourages them to give money to charity in general. And people often give money and do this challenge. However, it's true that some people don't give money to the association even though they do the challenge. However, they nominate people, and people know about the disease and are encouraged to know more about it, and are encouraged to give money to this association that is researching this hard disease. So we believe that the Ice Bucket Challenge doesn't do more harm than good because it helps raise money for this disease. It raises awareness about this disease, which was pretty unknown before the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and the association that was researching this disease didn't have much results because of the lack of money that was much needed to research this disease. So we believe that it doesn't do more harm than good because it has a positive impact on people who have the ALS disease because they have some hard conditions they are living in, and the association that does this, because of the money they raise, they have some results, and it can help people with ALS. And that's what we're proud to oppose. Thank you.